Hey, yo, y'all seen Trump's little weak-ass parade today? Bruh, this was 30 minutes before it started, and it's damn near empty, y'all. I mean, you can hear an echo through the crowd in that bit. Meanwhile, the streets have been packed. Millions of us out here for the No Kings protests, taking over cities, coast to coast, baby. But Trump? Dude maybe got like 10,000 people to pull up. That's it, y'all. There was probably more people than that protesting in our country's smallest state. This just proves it, folks. We the people are really out here making noise. And from the looks of things, we're actually winning this fight.
So Donald Trump is facing possibly the biggest humiliation of his entire life right now. His parade, his military birthday parade in D.C. appears to be a complete and total dud. Trump was expecting over 200,000 people to show up in D.C. for this parade. Estimates are now that just about 10,000 people maybe showed up. The images show barely anybody there, and I've talked to some people in D.C. who are on the ground who say that it feels like a normal Saturday and say that it actually might even feel a little quieter than a normal Saturday. I should say also that this parade had to start 30 minutes early because they were worried about the weather, because it's literally going to rain on Donald Trump's parade. And let me show you the video so you can see it for yourself. This is the crowd or lack thereof at Donald Trump's event today. This is just slightly before the event was about to start. I mean, look at that. Yikes. Meanwhile, millions and millions and millions of people were out in force at the No Kings protests.
Did y'all see that video going around of that military tank squeaking, the wheels squeaking as it's going down the street at that failed parade for Donald Trump's birthday? I can't tell you how iconic that is. Like, bro really thought he was the mustache man. You thought you was gonna have a whole military celebrating you like you God himself, and you thought the crowd was gonna go wild, and that parade was ass.
California Governor Gavin Newsom just released a video trolling Donald Trump over his teeny tiny crowd size at his birthday parade yesterday. Just take a look for yourself. That is so good. Whoever was behind this on Gavin Newsom's team, shout out to you. That was just so funny. All these different videos you saw from different cities around the country are streets filled with protesters for the No Kings protest against Donald Trump. Meanwhile, while this was taking place, Donald Trump was having his birthday bash, which none of his friends attended. I really can't think of a more humiliating and embarrassing thing for Trump than him getting protested by millions and him just sitting there practically alone in DC on his birthday. It's just so awful for him. And this video from Gavin Newsom is hilarious. Shout out to them.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are talking about something that honestly feels like a comedy sketch, but it's real life. DT just turned 79 years old, and instead of having a quiet party, he decided to throw himself a full-blown military parade in Washington, D.C. Sounds over the top already, right? But here's the kicker. Barely anyone showed up. And the kicker after that, it cost American taxpayers tens of millions of dollars. Let's break down this birthday flop that should have never happened in the first place. If you're coming across this channel for the first time, my name is Rosemary. Kindly consider subscribing, give this video a thumbs up, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Before we get to the video, let me play a few clips on the same, and I'll be back with my commentary. All credit goes to the original creators of these videos.
Did you see that almost 5 million people showed out yesterday all across the country in support of No Kings Day? If you don't know, No Kings Day is now going to be held on June 14th, and it is a series of mass protests being held all across the country in defiance against the Trump administration and the military parade that is held on June 14th. June 14th also happens to be Donald Trump's birthday. The main message of these protests is no thrones, no crowns, no kings, and it emphasizes democracy and how important it is to this country. And with everything going on surrounding immigration and ICE, so many more people showed up and showed out in support to let the government know that we do not support what you're doing. We do not support you taking hardworking people from their jobs, children from foster care, people who are here legally. We don't support any of it. No King's Day turned out to be one of the biggest mass protests that has ever been held in the United States. So if you showed up to protest, you were literally a part of history in the making. Although there were some moments where people tried to start uproar and basically create chaos, the majority of these protests did turn out to be peaceful, which is amazing because that was the entire point, to show up with the upside down American flag and to show them that we are not the problem, we are not the instigators.
This is it. This is the big military parade that Donald Trump was bragging about. The one that cost between $25 and $45 million. The one that he said that if he saw any protests in the vicinity, that he was going to stomp them out with force. Brother, nobody came. I mean, just look at this turnout, man. Pathetic. There are football teams that haven't won a Super Bowl in over 30 years with a bigger turnout than this. There are high school graduations that have more people show up than this. All it took was 6 months for Donald Trump to remind everyone, man, maybe I really don't like that fucking guy. I mean, you can read it all over his face, man. There is not a sliver of happiness on this guy's face, and it touches me a little bit. I'm so happy that he's upset. Doesn't change anything, but I'm glad that my enemies have no joy in their heart. I know for a fact this is what Donald Trump had picture in his mind, man. He's gonna go to sleep crying to this picture, man. Now this is a military parade. Say what you will about North Korea, they got aura sometimes.
So on June 14th, 2025, while most people were going about their day, DT was staging what looked like a North Korean-style parade. Tanks, fighter jets, marching troops, and American flags everywhere, all to celebrate his own birthday. He tried to dress it up as honoring the US Army's 250th anniversary. But let's be honest, this was a birthday bash in disguise. He even made sure the date, location, and visuals centered around him. Now let's talk about the turnout. With all that money spent, with all the security, planning, and promotion, you'd think the streets would be packed, but no, the crowd was shockingly small. Even conservative news outlets admitted that the attendance was light and underwhelming. Video clips shows DT wavering at nearly empty sidewalks. Most of the people who did show up were seated VIPs, hand-picked muggers, loyalists, or people who just happened to be passing through the area. And people online were furious. Taxpayers were left asking, why did my money go towards this month's ego trip? Imagine how many school lunches, housing grants, or small business loans that money could have funded instead. But nope, it went to tanks rolling down Pennsylvania Avenue for a man turning 29 years old who just wanted applause. So let's be real. This was not about honoring the military. It was not even about patriotism. It was about one man trying to look powerful, like a king or a dictator, on his birthday. But the more he tries to flex, the more desperate he looks. The visuals were supposed to show strength and admiration, but instead they showed an old man waving at a ghost town. While DT was surrounded by empty seats and empty streets, millions of Americans were out doing something that actually mattered. Across more than 2,000 cities, people were participating in quote-unquote Not King's protest, sending a loud message that this country doesn't belong to one man. The protests were not about partisanship, they were about preserving democracy, calling out authoritarian behavior, and demanding real leadership, not vanity stunts. The timing couldn't have been more awkward for DT. He's trying to throw a party, but the people are in the streets telling him, quote-unquote, we don't want a king. That's got to sting, especially when protest crowns dwarf your birthday guest. This whole fiasco shows us something deeper. DT's priorities have never really been about the American people. If they were, he wouldn't waste millions on a personal celebration. He wouldn't ignore hunger, joblessness, and housing crisis just to stage a fake show of popularity. But that's exactly what he did, because for DT, image is everything, even if no one is buying it anymore. Instead of helping struggling families, he threw a parade. Instead of supporting veterans, he used the military as birthday decorations. Instead of addressing real national problems, he spent your money to feel important. And let's not forget, the whole world was watching. International medias didn't hold back. Headlines called the parade a vanity display, a failed power grab, and the loneliest birthday bash in history. It's embarrassing not just for DT, but for the image of the United States. Other countries see this and wonder, is America still serious? And that's the danger, not just the waste of money, but the damage to the country's credibility and dignity. When your leader behaves like a cartoon king and barely anyone shows up, you start to look like a joke on the whole world stage. So let's wrap this up. DT's 79th birthday wasn't a celebration of the country. It wasn't a tribute to the military. It was a sad, expensive, self-obsessed birthday party, and hardly anyone came. But you know who did show up? The American people in the streets, holding signs saying, quote-unquote, no kings. This moment made it crystal clear. The gap between DTs and the everyday American is wider than ever. He is in his own world, surrounded by props, spending millions to feel important, but the people are awake. The people are speaking, and they are not showing up for the parade. They are showing up for the change. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.